Hello, a very good evening to all of you. Today we are going to discuss the difference between since and for in writing, in OET writing, especially. Uh, this many of my students have been asking me uh, the difference between since and for, how it's used in writing letters. And several times I've told that this is the way we have to use, but still many of them have confusion, because now if you don't practice with the right examples, if you don't practice in the correct tense, then it may go wrong. So I think it's better to learn the usage of since and for with situations, and that will help students to learn it better. Now let's go ahead with the use of for. And the word for is used to show period of time, be it in the past, present, or future. So whether it's in the past, whether it's in the present, or whether it's in the future, the word for is used to show a period of time. It means a duration of time. It can be a week, it can be a month, it can be a year, 5 years, 10 years, or 100 years. So it's a duration of time. You can say it starting from one point to another point. So that's what we have examples here. In the past tense, let's see how we are using it in the past tense. She was taking antibiotics for 5 days at the hospital. So if you are taking a client named Mrs. Peterson, Mrs. Peterson was taking antibiotics for 5 days at hospital. So we are reporting to another person. She was taking antibiotics for 5 days, for 5 days. For how long? For 5 days. Where? At the hospital. So this is the place we are using there. Now we have a tense change. If you want to go ahead with one more example, we can go with one more example there. Example number 2. She was taking antibiotics for 5 days at the hospital. She has fever and chills for almost a week last month. So I have given one more example here in past tense. She had fever and chills for almost a week last month. So again, I have said the usage of for in past tense. Both these sentences are framed in the past tense. She was taking antibiotics. How long? For 5 days at the hospital. She had fever and chills. How long? For almost a week last month. So this is how the usage of for goes. So I have given two situations, two different situations, one pertaining to a place at the hospital, one pertaining to a period and a sub-period. Okay, now let's go ahead with the next tense, that is the past perfect continuous. So let's see how we can frame sentence. She had been smoking for 20 years prior to hospitalization. So now, right now, she is not smoking. But she was a smoker. She was a smoker for the past 20 years. So she had been smoking. It was continuing for a period of 20 years. And this has now stopped. Now, during hospitalization, she's not smoking. She has quit smoking or something happened. Right now, she's not having the habit of smoking, but she was smoking for all the 20 years. She had been smoking for 20 years, for 20 years to prior to hospitalization. So for 20 years, here again, I have highlighted. So for 20 years is the duration, how long she had been smoking. Yes. Now, I can give one more example there. Example number 2, Mr. Billy had been our visiting our clinic for 5 years until he migrated to the UK. Now, Mr. Billy had been visiting our clinic for 5 years until he migrated to the UK. So for 5 years he had been visiting. Right now he's not a visitor. So here, right now he's not a smoker. Right now he's not a visitor. So that's past tense. For how long? So let's go ahead and see how long she was taking antibiotics for 5 days. How long she had fever and chills for almost a week. How long she had been smoking cigarettes 20 long years, for 20 long years. How long Mr. Billy was your clinic visitor? For 5 years. Right now, he is not. Right now, he's not visiting your clinic. Right now, she is not smoking. Right now, she has no fever and chills. Right now, she is not taking antibiotics. So we have the things in the past. Now let's go ahead with the present tense. Yes, let's see that. Oh, I can highlight. Yes, okay. She has due medications. I make it a little bit more visible so that you can see. I make it green. Oh no, yellow again. She has due medications for another 5 days. So she has due medications for another 5 years. For another 5 years. She has due medications. It means she has to take medications for the next 5 days. And this is presented in present tense. Another sentence. She's recommended to continue her antibiotics for 3 more days. For 3 more days. So again, it's present tense. She is expected to continue. She is recommended to continue her antibiotics. She is advised to continue. She's advised, she is recommended, she is requested to continue. Continue her antibiotics for 3 more days. So all these green highlights refer to a period of time. It can be in the past, past perfect continuous, present tense, and right now we have the last common usage. We have more usages. We are not going to deal with all these usages because what we have to see is something which we commonly use. So we have we use for in future tense, but we don't use it commonly in OIT letters, so we don't need to discuss those things. Where we commonly use, there I have given examples, specific examples. Yes, these are the places where we are required to use for. Okay, I have given two examples there. This is the last example, present perfect continuous. She has been taking carbamazepine for almost a year. Okay, now this is present perfect continuous for almost a year. Yes, for how long? She started taking carbamazepine last year. From that point, she is continuing right now for a period of 1 year, 12 months. She has been taking, right now she is taking, she started almost a year ago. We don't have a specific time frame there, but we have a period of almost a year, a vague idea, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So this is past tense and this is present tense. We don't need future tense. If you want, I can go ahead with one more example there. Yes, example. Mrs. Peter has been This picture has been so Mrs. Peter has been experiencing pain for almost a couple of hours. So I have another sentence here for your reference. Mrs. Peter has been experiencing pain. What type of pain? I can say it's severe pain. Severe pain. What type of pain? Chest pain. For almost a couple of hours. Mrs. Peter has been experiencing severe chest pain for almost uh, a couple of hours. Therefore, she was transferred to the hospital via an ambulance. Now, for almost a couple of hours is underlined, it's highlighted. So these are all the examples where you can see a lot of examples in past tense, in past perfect continuous, in present tense, in present perfect continuous. These are the common areas where we use these sentences. Now we look on to the next area. We have 3 examples here with the usage of since. We have to use since with a specific time frame. Now I can underline those specific time frames in green. Sorry. In the first sentence, she has been smoking since she was 22. So a point of time when she was 22 years old, she started smoking, and she's continuing the habit of smoking till the point of my speaking. At present, she is smoking. It means at present, she has the habit of smoking. She started the habit when she was 22, a point of time. So how long? Till now, she has the habit. She has not quit the habit of smoking. Now, Mr. Luton has had schizophrenia since 2001. The second sentence, you can see, Mr. Luton has had schizophrenia. When he was diagnosed with schiz, he was diagnosed with schiz since 2001 or 2001. From that year till now, he has schiz. It's there. Now the last example. Miss Orson has been skipping medication since her husband's death. All these three things represents a point of time, a specific time frame. So that's what the difference is. 4 shows the duration of time. Since shows a particular time frame, a point of time. And that's what we can see. One more thing to add. Many often candidates might find the use of since confusing. I'll just give an example here. Since she was lethargic, she could not carry out her daily activities independently. Okay. So since she was lethargic, she could not carry out her daily activities independently. This is a sentence which I would like to see. There is a difference here. The since here is used instead of because she was lethargic. So this since is not representing the time frame. The word since is there, but the word since here, it is used instead of because. Instead of because, owing to the lethargy or because of her lethargy condition, she could not carry out her daily activities independently. Because, that's it. So since can be used instead of because too. So please don't get confused. We can use since in that way too. So please don't get confused. I hope this examples might have clarified your doubts regarding the use of since and for in OET writing letters. Thank you. Have a nice day.